Your life right now is a perfect mirror of what you've been focusing on. Everything you see around you, the relationships, the bank account, the energy you wake up with, it all reflects where your attention has been living. And here's the brutal truth. Success and failure are both manifestations of the same law. They're not accidents. They're not luck. They're the result of where you consistently direct your focus. Most people don't realize they're broadcasting a signal every single moment, and that signal determines what shows up in their life. So if you want different results, you need to understand three principles that turn focus into physical reality. No theory, no fluff, just the mechanics of how this actually works. Your mind is a transmitter, not a receiver. Right now, you're broadcasting a signal through your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your daily attention. And the universe doesn't judge that signal. It just amplifies it. If you're signaling fear, you get more reasons to be afraid. If you're signaling purpose, opportunities start appearing from unexpected corners. Think of it like a magnifying glass. When you hold it steady over a piece of paper in the sun, it can ignite a fire. But if you keep moving it around, nothing happens. Your focus works the same way. Scattered focus accomplishes nothing. Steady focus creates momentum, results, transformation. Here's where most people fail. They focus for a day, maybe a week, and when nothing happens, they quit. They think the universe isn't listening. But the universe doesn't respond to short bursts of enthusiasm. It responds to sustained intention. What you do during the delay between thought and result determines whether you actually get what you want or whether it passes you by. The delay isn't punishment, it's preparation. And what you focus on during that preparation phase is everything. Because here's the reality. What you focus on in private shows up in public. You might not see the results instantly, but they're coming. The law doesn't play favorites. It just reflects back what you're consistently being. If you wake up every morning and your first thoughts are about your problems, about what's missing, about what could go wrong, you're programming your subconscious to look for more of that. Your mind starts filtering reality through lack, and when you filter through lack, you become blind to opportunity even when it's right in front of you. But when you train your mind to focus on what you can create, on what you're building, on the version of yourself you're becoming, everything shifts. Your actions align, your energy concentrates, and the world starts rearranging itself around that new focus. This isn't magic. It's how your brain works. Your subconscious doesn't question your focus. It accepts it and builds from it. So the question you need to ask yourself right now is, what are you programming it with? Pictures of power or pictures of frustration? Because whatever you're feeding it, that's what it's constructing as your future. Blurred focus creates a scattered life. You jump from one idea to the next. You start projects with excitement but abandon them when things get hard. You set goals with hope but lose them in the fog of distraction. And the reason isn't lack of talent or opportunity. It's lack of clarity. When you're clear, your actions become aligned. Your days gain meaning. Your energy stops getting diluted across 1,000 different directions. It concentrates on the one thing that actually matters. And you know what that one thing is? It's the version of yourself that already exists in your imagination, the person you were born to become. That version of you doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't wait for someone to validate the vision. You become that person now through focus. You speak like them. You think like them. You move like them. Because transformation doesn't start when the results show up. It starts the moment you decide who you're becoming. Your mind is not an open field where anything can grow. You have to decide what dominates your thoughts each day, what you'll build, what you'll believe, what you'll ignore. This is the garden principle. If you don't plant what you want, weeds will take over. And those weeds are the voices, the conversations, the emotions that drain your energy and pull you away from what you're trying to create. You need to ruthlessly eliminate what dilutes your focus. If it drains you, if it weakens your spirit, if it distracts you from your chief aim, it has no place in your life. Not now, not ever, because your destiny is too important. Your vision is too sacred to hand over to things that don't serve it. Here's the question that changes everything. Does this move me closer to the life I'm building or further away? Every thought, every emotion, every conversation, every choice. Run it through that filter. If it moves you forward, embrace it. If it moves you backward, eliminate it without apology. Your current results are echoes of previous thoughts. What you're living right now is the residue of what you focused on weeks, months, even years ago. But the future? The future is still in your hands. It's being molded right now by what you choose to focus on today. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances. Something happens, they respond emotionally, and that emotional response becomes the new focus. Then they wonder why their life feels out of control. But you're not here to react. You're here to shape. You're here to direct. You're here to create through deliberate, focused energy. Stop reacting to life and start shaping it. That shift, that one decision to take control of your focus, is the birth of your power. Because when you're clear about what you want and you hold that vision steady, your subconscious starts working on it. It doesn't argue. It doesn't question. It just accepts the dominant image you give it and begins constructing that reality. So, what are you feeding it? Are you feeding it pictures of who you're becoming, what you're building, the impact you're creating? Or are you feeding it frustration, comparison, distraction, and doubt? You can't plant weeds and expect roses. You can't stare at the mud and expect to see stars. Clarity is your greatest leverage because it turns scattered energy into concentrated force. And concentrated force breaks through obstacles that scattered energy never could. Focus is a muscle. You strengthen it by using it. You develop it by resisting distraction, by saying no to the unnecessary, by simplifying your life until only what matters remains. And the truth is, most people never build this muscle because they're not willing to do what it takes. The real question isn't what do I want? The real question is what am I becoming? Because if you're becoming focused, intentional, resilient, the results will come. But if you're becoming scattered, doubtful, easily discouraged, you're pushing away the very things you say you desire. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if your attention is stuck on past mistakes, on drama, on complaints, on things outside your control, your energy is being drained into a black hole. But if your attention is anchored in your vision, in your goals, in your purpose, then even if the results haven't shown up yet, the current is moving. The gears are turning. The momentum is real. You don't need more motivation. You need more elimination, less noise, fewer distractions, fewer excuses. This is how you reclaim your focus. And when you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your life. The universe is listening not to your words, but to your persistence. When you persist, even when nothing is happening, even when reality mocks you, even when fear claws at your heels, you send a message to life itself. I am serious. And when life knows you are serious, it opens doors. Not always when you want, but always when you're ready. And what makes you ready? Focus. The ability to hold the vision when circumstances say it's impossible. The ability to act boldly when doubt whispers in your ear. The willingness to stand alone, misunderstood, underestimated, and still press forward with fire in your eyes. This is what separates the many who wish from the few who achieve. Discipline turns focus into destiny because discipline is what keeps you locked in when everything else is trying to pull you out. Your dream isn't silly, your vision isn't impossible, but your focus must match your desire. Start today. Write your aim, see it clearly, hold it daily, eliminate distraction. The power to transform your life doesn't lie in better luck or timing, it lies in better focus. If this video helped, hit subscribe and check out the playlist on your screen. I've summarized more books like this one.